Good morning, everyone. So, today we study session 5 of third unit, basic processing unit. So, in this session 5, we're going to study the content about the multiple bus organization. So, before going to study the multiple bus organization, so we have a brief study about a single bus organization. So in single bus organization, it allows all the units that need to be connected to a single bus. So that is the program counter, the instruction registers or MAR, MDR, all these units will be connected to a single bus. That results in a long control sequence because in single bus structure, only one data item that can be transferred over the bus in a clock cycle. To avoid it, most of the commercial processor that provides multiple internal path that enables several transfers to take place in parallel. So here we study a multiple bus organization with the three bus structure that can be used to connect the registers and the ALU of the processor. So then this multiple bus organization, it is having a module called as a register file. So here we are going to make use of three bus A, bus B and bus C, and we having a register file over here. So all the general purpose registers which will be grouped into a single block, we call it as a register file. This register file is having three ports, the two output port and one input port. The two output ports are connected to the bus A and bus B in order to access the content of two different registers that can be accessed simultaneously and that can be placed over bus A and bus B. And we will be having a third input port which allows the data that can be transferred from bus C to any of the third register in a register file in the same clock cycle. So in multiple bus organization, we having another module, we call it as a ALU, which helps in which performs arithmetic and logical operations. So ALU is also connected to the buses where it contains two input A and B. It performs the specified operations and result will be transferred to bus C. So here the bus A and the bus B are used to transfer the source operands to this A and B inputs of ALU. The ALU will perform the respective arithmetic and logical operation and result will be transferred to the destination using this bus C. So here, if you want to access the content of bus A, the multiplexer will going to select the content of bus A and it will pass that as an output of a multiplexer which will be given as an input for this A input of this ALU. So in order to supply this A input, so we are having multiplexer. For that multiplexer we having two inputs. One is the data that is transferred from bus A, another one is a constant 4. So this constant 4 helps in incrementing other addresses like the memory addresses which helps in the load and store operations. So if we don't want any such kind of operations, we can directly select the content which is transferred from bus A and we can pass that as an input for this A input of the ALU, and the another content for this ALU will be transferred from bus B. The ALU will perform the respective operation and the result will be transferred to the destination using this bus C. Suppose if I don't want to modify any of the data, that is if I want to transfer the content of A directly to C, so we can transfer that. So we call that one as a unmodified data. Suppose ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಎ ಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಂಟೆಂಟನ್ನ ಏನೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಲೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅನ್ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಏನ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾನು ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಲೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು assign r equal to b, which will going to transfer the content of b to the destination using this bus C. So we call such kind of data as a unmodified data. So ALU can also pass one of its two input operands unmodified to bus C. So in order to perform that one, so we need to select r equal to a or r equal to b. If I want to transfer a has a unmodified data, I need to select r equal to a. If I want to send b has a unmodified data, so then I need to put r equal to b. The another module is a PC. So we know that PC will always hold the address of the next instruction to be executed. So whenever it transfers its content to MAR, it need to be incremented by 4. In order to increment the content of PC by 4, it needs the help of ALU always. So in order to avoid using ALU to increment the content of PC by 4 always, it will going to make use of a special module called as a incrementer. This incrementer helps to increment the content of PC by 4. And using the incrementer unit, it will going to eliminate the need to add 4 to the content of PC using the main ALU. So this is the overall architecture of the multiple bus organization. So in this diagram, it is going to make use of 3 bus A, bus B and bus C. So we call it as a 3 bus organization of the data path. I just repeat all the modules once again. So PC, the program counter, which always holds the address of the next instruction. And each time the content of PC should be get incremented by 4. So in order to increment the content of PC by 4, we use a special module called as a incrementer. Next is a register file. All the general purpose registers are grouped into a single block. We call it as a register file. The register file contains 3 ports, the 2 output port and 1 input port. So the input port will going to transfer the content through the bus C to any of the register in this register file. The 2 output ports which are capable of transferring the content of 2 different registers from the register file to the bus A and bus B at the same time. The next module is a ALU, which performs arithmetic and the logical operations. It contains 2 inputs. We call it as a source operands. So input for this source operands can be transferred from bus A and bus B. So the content of bus B can be directly transferred as input for the ALU. So for input A of the ALU, we're going to make use of multiplexer. The multiplexer contains 2 inputs. One is a data from bus A, another one is a constant 4. The constant 4 helps to increment other addresses also, like the memory addresses, which helps in the load and store operation. So if you are not performing such kind of operations, the multiplexer will going to select the data which has been passed from bus A has the output of the multiplexer, and it will transmit that as an input for the A input of this ALU. Then ALU will perform the respective operation and the result will be stored in R. Through that R, it will going to send, or the output of the ALU will be transmitted to the destination using this bus C. That is, the content of ALU will be transferred through bus C. Next is the instruction register. The instruction register will going to hold the current instruction to be executed. So whenever the current instruction is present in instruction register, it need to decode that instruction. To decode that instruction, it is going to use a special module called as the instruction decoder, which will decode the instruction which is present in instruction register and finds what operation to be performed and where to access the operands to perform that operation. So next is MDR, the memory data register. So memory data registers are connected, or the content of memory data registers can be transferred to the bus A or bus B. So here we need to specify that through which bus we are going to send that data, either by selecting the bus A or by selecting the bus B. And content to this MDR can be transferred from bus C. And so MDR is also connected to the memory bus through the data lines. So another component we having here is MAR. We call it as a memory address register. So address to this memory address registers can be transferred using bus C, and MAR is also connected to the main memory bus using the address lines. So this is the overall architecture. So now let me study an example and what are all the control sequences needed to execute that instruction. So the example that we are going to take here is addition of three registers, that is add R4, R5, R6. So in order to perform this operation, so we know that in order to execute an instruction, so it is having two phases. One is an fetch phase, another one is a execute phase. First we need to fetch the instruction. We have to store that in an instruction register, and then we have to execute that instruction. So now, so from where we need to access that instruction, that address has been stored in PC. First, the content of PC should be transferred to MAR. But here, the output of PC is connected through bus B. MAR is connected from bus C. So now the content of PC need to be transferred to MAR. So in order to transfer the content of PC to MAR, we're going to make use of ALU as a unmodified data. So now the content of PC, that is the address which is stored in PC, will be transferred to bus B. Through this bus B, that content will be transferred to the B input of ALU. The ALU will going to send the content of B as a unmodified data. That is, the content which is present in B will be transferred to the destination using this bus C. So in order to perform that, we need to select R equal to B. So now that address will be sent to bus C. Through this bus C, the content will be transferred to MAR. So now the address of PC is now transferred to MAR. Once it has been transferred, the content of PC should be get incremented by 4 so that it holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. So now MAR will going to send that address to the main memory. Along with that, it will going to send a read signal also. So now until the completion of this task, we need to wait. So wait for the memory function to complete. Once it has been completed, now the available data, so that is the data which is stored in that particular address, will be stored in MDR. So now from this MDR, we need to transfer the content to instruction register. But here the output of MDR has been connected to bus B and bus A, but the content to instruction register can be transferred from bus C. So now we need to transfer the content from MDR to instruction register using this ALU. That is, the content of MDR will be transferred to any one of these two buses. We have to specify which bus has been selected. Suppose assume that we're going to select bus B. So now content of MDR has been transferred to bus B. From this bus B, the content will be transferred to the B input of this ALU. So now ALU will transfer that data as an unmodified data, that is the content which is present in B will be transferred to the bus C has an unmodified data. For that one we need to select R equal to B. So now the content has been present in bus C. So through this bus C, the data will be transferred to instruction register. So now the instruction is present in instruction register. Now it is ready for the execution. So in order to execute that, first we need to decode the instruction. The instruction register will send that instruction to the instruction decoder. Instruction decoder will decode the instruction, finds it needs 3 operands, and that can be accessed through the register file. So now we need to select two registers as an input from a register file, that is R4 and R5. The content will be transferred to ALU. The ALU performs the respective operations. Now the result will be sent to the destination, that is R6 of the register file, through this bus C. So that is the sequence of steps needed to execute the instruction add R4, R5, R6. So now let us study the control sequences for executing this instruction. So now, as I told, the steps and the actions has been given here. Here the first three steps represents the fetch phase and the last step indicates the execute phase. First, the content of PC need to be transferred. The content of PC is connected. PC has been connected to bus B here. We need to transfer that to bus B. So here PC out transfer the address to bus B. Through the bus B, we need to transfer the content to one of the input of ALU. So that is, we're going to send that address to the B input of ALU. So ALU will transmit that data as an unmodified data by selecting R equal to B. Now the data is available in bus C. Through that bus C, that will be transmitted to MAR. So for that, MAR in signal should be activated. So now MAR will going to send that signal to main memory. So along with that, it's just going to send a read signal also. At the same time, the content of PC need to be get incremented. For that one, we're going to make use INC PC, which increments the content of PC by 4. So now we need to wait for the memory function to complete. Once the function has been completed, now the data is available in MDR that should be sent out using bus B. The content of MDR has been transmitted to bus B using MDR out. Now the content of B will be transmitted to the B input of ALU. The ALU will going to transmit the B input as an unmodified data using R equal to B. Now data is available in bus C. Through bus C, we can transfer the data to instruction register. So for that one, so we need to activate IR in instruction register in. So now the instruction is present in instruction register. So now we can go for the fourth step, that is to execute the instruction. So that is to execute the instruction. So we need to access the register 4 out. The content of register 4 will be transferred to the bus A. Register content R5 will be transmitted to bus B. Now P will be from bus B, we're going to transfer the data to the B input of ALU. So now through bus A, the content has been transmitted to the multiplexer. Now multiplexer need to select bus A. So for that one, we having select A here, which indicates the multiplexer will going to select A as an output of multiplexer. That will be transmitted to the A input of ALU. Then ALU performs the addition operation and result will be sent to R6 register using bus C, and that will be get ended. So these are the control sequences which are required to execute the instruction add R4, R5, R6. So this is about today's session. So regarding to today's session, we having a few of multiple choice questions. In that, the first question is, the general purpose registers are combined into a single block called. So as I told before, all general purpose registers are grouped into a single file. We call it as a register file. So solution is the third option, that is the register file. The next question, in 3-bus architecture, how many inputs and output ports are there? So that is in a register file. So we having 2 output ports and 1 input port. So answer is choice 3, that is 2 output port and 1 input port. The next question, the main advantage of multiple bus organization over a single bus is. So the main advantage of using the multiple bus organization is to reduce the number of cycles. So that is the option A, reduction in a number of cycles for execution. That is choice 1. The next question, for 3-bus architecture, is the below code correct for adding 3 numbers? PC out R equal to B, MAR in, read, increment PC, wait for memory function to complete, MDR out R equal to B, IR in, R4 out through bus A, R5 out through bus B, select A of multiplexer, add R6 in and end. So this is true. So this is the same example what we have studied in the previous slides. So answer for this one is true. Next question. Which of the following is used to choose between incrementing the PC or performing ALU operation? So we're going to make use of a multiplexer. The answer is multiplexer. The multiplexer will going to have a choice between incrementing the PC or performing the ALU operation. The next question, increment unit is used to increment the PC by, usually the incrementer is used to increment the content of PC by 4. So answer for this is the option D, that is 4. So this is end of session 5, that is the multiple bus organization. So thank you one and all.